Welcome to Zen Buddhism, where gentle stories carry you to peace. This tale invites rest, a soft path to calm. Tonight, we touch a simple truth, speaking with a heart of peace. No striving needed, only openness. Peace sleeps within you, ready to bloom. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Let this story carry you, like a breeze, into a journey of serene rest. He was in his early 40s, working in finance, living in a fast-paced American city where no one really paused long enough to notice how tired they were. Every day began early and ended late, filled with meetings, unread emails, market updates, and the quiet pressure of needing to stay ahead. Sleep had become a problem, not insomnia exactly, but a restless state where the body lay still, but the mind kept sprinting. The moment he closed his eyes, his thoughts came alive. They raced through worst-case scenarios, financial outcomes, the future of his kids, his aging parents, the economy, his career. Even when nothing was wrong, his mind found something to worry about. He tried what most people try: herbal teas, blue light blockers, expensive sleep supplements, podcasts with ocean waves and guided relaxation. Some nights, he would drift off, but the sleep felt shallow, as if he never fully surrendered. Morning always arrived too soon, and he woke up already tired. It wasn't always like this. He remembered times, maybe in college or right after, when falling asleep was simple. No effort, no routine, just a pillow and the comfort of not needing to control everything. But now he was the one holding everything. The provider, the planner, the protector. He couldn't afford to rest. One Thursday evening, after a particularly heavy workday, he decided to stop by the gym. It was more out of obligation than motivation. People say exercise helps with stress, and maybe, just maybe, it would wear him out enough to sleep. He walked on the treadmill for half an hour, barely breaking a sweat, showered, and changed into clean clothes. But what he remembered most vividly wasn't the gym itself. It was the walk home. He left the building, carrying his gym bag, a large, black duffel stuffed with damp clothes, shoes, a water bottle, and other odds and ends. It wasn't unusually heavy, but that night, it felt different. The weight of it pulled on his shoulder in a way that made him aware of how tired he truly was. The sidewalk was quiet, lined with trees and flickering street lamps. Just a 5-minute walk to his apartment, but each step made him more aware of the strain on his back, the pull in his arm. He kept switching sides, trying to ease the discomfort, but it didn't help. Eventually, he spotted a small wooden bench just off the path in a nearby park. He sat down and dropped the bag beside him with a quiet thud. He closed his eyes, let out a long breath. Something about that moment, sitting alone on a quiet street with a uselessly heavy bag beside him, triggered a realization. The bag wasn't even that important. It was just stuff, and yet he had insisted on carrying it all the way home without question, like it was something he owed himself to do. He looked at the bag, then back at the sidewalk, then up at the sky. How many things am I carrying that I don't need to? It wasn't just the gym bag. It was the constant scanning of what could go wrong, the need to be prepared, the guilt when he didn't feel productive, the future always looming, the fear of slowing down, the belief that rest had to be earned. No wonder he couldn't sleep. He didn't suddenly become enlightened or float into bliss, but he sat there longer than planned. He let the weight drain from his shoulders. He noticed the tension in his jaw, the clenching of his hands, the way his breath had been shallow without him realizing. And for once, he didn't try to solve it. He just breathed. It wasn't a strategy. It wasn't meditation. It was simply sitting on a bench with no immediate goal and letting the world keep spinning without his help. Eventually, he stood up. This time, he didn't sling the bag over his shoulder. He held it by the strap, letting it dangle by his side. Lighter now, somehow. When he got home, he didn't turn on the news. He didn't check email. He didn't even scroll his phone. He drank a glass of water, took a warm shower, and lay down. His thoughts were still there, but softer. They didn't demand his attention. He imagined setting the gym bag down again. Only this time, it wasn't clothes inside. It was worries, pressure, self-expectation, fear. And as he exhaled, he pictured letting it go. The truth was never about the world being too heavy. It was about how tightly he had been holding it. Now, if you're listening tonight, you might feel your own version of that bag, the invisible load that presses on your mind, even when your body wants rest, even when you're lying down and everything around you is finally quiet. The thoughts keep moving, the planning, the fixing, the remembering, the worrying. They don't know how to stop. Not yet. And maybe that's okay. You don't need to fight it. You don't need to fix it. Not right now. Just notice it. Just breathe. Just let your awareness wrap gently around that tension, like soft hands holding something fragile. Imagine that bag now, resting on the floor beside you. Can you feel its weight slowly leaving your body, the pressure easing off your shoulders? Each thought like a stone placed inside that bag. Every deadline, every unfinished conversation, every moment you replay in your head, they're all sitting in there, crowding your peace. But they don't have to stay there tonight. Now, begin to let them go, one by one, as if you're carefully removing stones from that bag. A meeting that didn't go as planned, gone. A bill you forgot to pay, gone. A fear about the future, gently lifted out and set beside you. You are not your fears. You are not your schedule. You are not your to-do list. Inhale slowly and exhale even slower. Feel your shoulders soften just a bit more. Your jaw loosens. Your neck lengthens without effort. Your face doesn't need to hold anything. Neither does your heart. There is no pressure here. No performance. No right or wrong way to rest. Just you. And this breath and the quiet arrival of safety. Feel your body. Feel the ground holding you. Notice how the bed, the chair, the floor, whatever supports you, asks nothing of you. It simply stays steady, quiet, patient, like the earth beneath your life. Always there, always enough. With each breath, let more of yourself drop into this support. Your spine softening, your chest opening just slightly, your arms at ease, your legs heavy and warm, and your mind beginning to trust that it can let go. There's nothing you need to do right now. nowhere to go, no one to impress, nothing to explain. You are not behind. You are not late. You are simply here, and that is enough. Let the thoughts drift by like clouds in a wide sky. You don't need to follow them. You don't need to judge them. Just watch them float until even that watching becomes too much, and all that's left is breathing. Gentle, slow, safe. You can return to the bag tomorrow. If you need to, it will still be there. But for now, for this one night, let it rest. Let it be something you no longer carry, at least for a while. Let your body melt into stillness. Let your breath become the only thing that moves. And as your thoughts fade further and further away, know that this is the beginning of peace. Chapter 8. The monk's simple life finding rest in simplicities. In a quiet forest, a monk lives in a small hut, its walls woven from bamboo, its roof a patchwork of leaves, a single mat for rest, a bowl for meals. Each morning, he rises with the sun, sweeps the earth floor, brews tea from wild herbs, his days flowing with gentle tasks, his heart unburdened by the world's clamor. Outside his hut, the forest hums, birds sing, winds whisper, yet he remains untouched by the chaos of desire. In the Western world, the middle-class life is far different, a whirlwind of accumulation, new phones, bigger homes, endless upgrades to keep up with trends. Meet Sarah, a 37-year-old marketing coordinator. Her life a maze of shopping lists, online carts, credit card bills piling high. She chases the latest gadgets, a smarter watch, a sleeker laptop, believing they bring ease, status, joy. Yet, each purchase adds weight. Her bank account shrinks. Her nights fill with worry over debts, deadlines, the fear of falling behind. The monk, in his simplicity, finds peace. His hut a sanctuary, his few possessions enough, his rest deep and untroubled. Sarah's home, cluttered with new buys, feels like a cage. Her mind racing, her sleep shallow, her days blurred by stress. In the West, society glorifies more, bigger, newer, equating worth with what we own, what we display. This complexity breeds anxiety, a restless chase for the next thing, leaving no room for calm. The monk's life, stripped of excess, shows another way. His meals simple, his tasks few, his heart open to the present. Sarah's world, like many, is tangled, her mornings rushed, her evenings spent scrolling for deals, her spirit yearning for rest. The monk sweeps his hut, each stroke a meditation, each moment a gift, while Sarah checks her phone, anxious for notifications, trapped in a cycle of want, in the middle-class grind, where every purchase promises happiness. The weight of complexity grows, bills mount, stress festers, rest becomes a dream. The monk's hut, bare but complete, teaches that simplicity is freedom, that letting go of desire brings peace. Sarah feels this weight, her body tense, her mind clouded, her heart heavy with the need to keep up. Her story echoes in countless lives, in workers buying new cars to feel secure, in parents upgrading homes to prove success, each choice a thread in a web of worry. The monk with his single bowl, his quiet evenings, rest deeply, his life a mirror, reflecting the calm of living lightly. Society pushes us to accumulate, to complicate, but this only tightens the knot of anxiety, stealing our sleep, dimming our joy. The monk's simple life, unburdened by want, flows like a clear stream, untouched by the chaos of material desires. Sarah, lost in her cluttered world, longs for this calm, her nights restless, her days heavy, her spirit craving the peace of a life unweighed by excess, a life where rest blooms in the quiet beauty of enough. And so, we pause to explore why we complicate our lives with endless desires. In Buddhism, desire is the root of suffering, a restless craving that clouds the mind, steals our rest. We chase more, newer, better, believing possessions bring peace. But this pursuit breeds anxiety, a storm of financial strain, mental clutter. For Sarah, the marketing coordinator, each new purchase, a phone, a designer bag, promises relief, but leaves her deeper in debt. Her nights filled with worry, her heart unsettled. In the West, consumer culture fuels this cycle, ads urge us to buy, to upgrade, to prove our worth through things. We equate success with accumulation, a bigger house, a shinier car. But each addition complicates life, piling stress like stones. The mind, caught in this chase, cannot rest. Sleep fractures, joy fades, exhaustion seeps in. We try to ease anxiety by buying more, taking loans for gadgets, vacations, only to find the burden heavier, the peace further away. In the middle-class grind, where every bill feels like a test, this overcomplication traps us, our energy drained, our spirits weighed down. The truth lies in simplicity, in seeing that desire, born of ignorance, creates suffering, not solutions for the worker. This means letting go of the need for the latest tech, finding contentment in what is. By releasing craving, we unburden the heart, finding rest in the present, a mind clear of clutter, a life flowing lightly in a world that pushes excess. Simplicity is a quiet rebellion, a path to peace, to rest, to a heart untroubled by the endless chase for more. And so, we turn to a story of piling burdens in search of peace. Sarah sits at her kitchen table, her phone glowing, her fingers scrolling through online stores, seeking a moment of relief. After a long day of meetings, her mind is heavy. Deadlines loom, bills wait unpaid, and she clicks add to cart, a new dress, a smart speaker, believing they will lift her spirits. Each purchase feels like a reward, a brief escape from stress, but the relief fades fast, replaced by new worries, credit card alerts, mounting debt. Her home, once cozy, now feels cluttered, boxes piling up, her bank account strained, her nights restless with thoughts of payments due. She buys more, a sleek coffee maker, hoping it will bring joy, but the storm grows. Her sleep shallow, her days foggy with exhaustion, She skips evenings with friends, too tired, too anxious, her heart heavy with regret. In the middle-class grind, this cycle is familiar. Workers shop online to unwind. Parents buy toys to ease guilt. Each purchase a weight added to an already burdened life. Sarah's colleagues notice her strain. Her focus wanes, her energy drained by the chase for more. The new dress sits unworn, the speaker unused, each item a reminder of her choices, her debt, her lost peace. One evening, staring at a bill she cannot pay, she feels the weight, the futility of seeking calm in things. Her body tenses, her heart aches, and in this quiet moment, a truth dawns. Perhaps peace lies not in accumulating, but in letting go, in simplifying, in finding rest within the gentle embrace of enough. And so, we turn to a moment of awakening, where simplicity brings peace. One tranquil afternoon, Sarah, our marketing coordinator, steps away from her chaotic world, her heart weighed down by endless possessions, unpaid bills, the constant hum of want. She wanders to a temple nestled in a quiet grove, where she meets a monk, his robes worn, his hut simple, a single mat on the earth floor, a wooden bowl for meals, a clay cup for tea. He moves with grace, sweeping fallen leaves, his hands steady, his eyes soft with calm. He offers her tea, poured slowly into a chipped cup, and speaks of simplicity, of living with only what the heart truly needs, letting go of excess to find peace. Sarah sees her own life, a tangle of new gadgets, overflowing closets, credit card alerts piling high, each item a chain pulling her from rest. In this moment, she understands simplicity is not lack, but freedom, a path to a heart unburdened by desire. She returns home, begins sorting her belongings, folding clothes to donate, unplugging unused devices, keeping only what serves her daily life. Each evening, she sits in her now quiet room, meditating, breathing slowly, releasing the urge to scroll online stores, to chase fleeting trends. At first, her mind resists, craving the rush of a new purchase, the allure of a shinier phone. But she gently returns to the breath, to the monk's quiet wisdom of enough. Over days, her home feels lighter, her shelves bare but serene, her sleep deeper, her mornings brighter with a calm she had forgotten. She pauses at work, noticing the ease of a clear desk, the joy of a single pen in her hand, the warmth of a plain coffee mug. The pressures of her job remain. Deadlines loom. Bills arrive, but they no longer overwhelm. They are just ripples in a simpler life. Her evenings with her family, once rushed and distracted, now flow with presence. Her laughter genuine, her heart open to her children's stories. She walks with her daughter, noticing the breeze, the crunch of leaves, moments once lost to worry. This shift, sparked by the monk's humble hut, transforms her, not by erasing life's demands, but by teaching her to live lightly, to rest deeply in the gentle embrace of enough. She feels the monk's calm in her own breath, her spirit blooming like a lotus in a still pond, unweighted by the clutter of want. Her days, once heavy with stress, now carry a quiet joy. Her nights restful, her heart free to dwell in the present. She no longer chases the next thing, the next sale. Instead, she finds peace in small acts. A single candle lit at dusk, a moment of silence before bed. The simplicity, learned from the monk's way, becomes her refuge, a path to rest amidst the middle-class grind, where desires pull and bills press. Her home, once a cage of clutter, now feels like a sanctuary, each cleared space a reflection of her lighter heart, each breath a step toward peace. Her life blooming in the quiet beauty of now. And so, we turn to the wisdom that flows from this simplicity. In Buddhism, desire fuels suffering, a restless craving for more that stirs anxiety, clouds the heart. We chase possessions, new gadgets, bigger homes, believing they bring joy. But each want adds weight, financial strain, mental clutter. For Sarah, our marketing coordinator, buying the latest phone, a designer bag, promised relief, but left her in debt. Her nights sleepless, her days heavy with worry. In the Western world, consumer culture drives this cycle. Ads urge us to upgrade, to prove worth through things, equating success with what we own. Yet, this pursuit breeds suffering, a life too full to rest, a mind too busy to find peace. The monk's life with one bowl, one mat, teaches contentment, finding joy in enough, in a quiet moment, a simple meal. This is not denial, but freedom. Seeing desire as a flame that burns the heart, while simplicity cools it. For the middle-class worker, contentment means letting go of the need for the latest tech, embracing what is, finding calm in a modest coffee. A walk with family. This shift eases the worry of keeping up, invites rest in the present, a heart unburdened by want. In a society that glorifies excess, simplicity is a quiet strength, a path to peace. Sarah learned this, spending less, worrying less, her sleep deeper, her days brighter. She no longer measures worth by possessions, but by presence, by moments shared with her children, by the calm of a clear desk. The monk's wisdom shows that enough is a treasure, a gift that frees us from anxiety's grip. By releasing craving, we find clarity, a mind unclouded, a life flowing lightly. This contentment, rooted in simplicity, transforms the middle-class grind, where bills and status press, into a life of ease, of rest. We learn to pause, to breathe, to see the beauty in what is, not what could be. For Sarah, this meant joy in a single candle, a quiet evening, her heart open to the now, the lesson of contentment, drawn from the monk's simple life, offers peace, a heart blooming in the gentle calm of enough, unweighted by the endless chase for more. Now, let us weave this wisdom into a daily practice. To live simply, try a practice to clear your mind and space, a gentle path to rest. Each evening, sit for 10 minutes, breathing slowly, letting thoughts of buying, achieving, comparing drift like leaves on a stream. Picture your mind as a clear pond, worries rippling away, unheld, unneeded. Then, choose one small area of your home, a shelf, a drawer, and sort it, keeping only what serves you, donating what weighs you down. Start small. A box of old clothes, a stack of unused gadgets, letting go with each breath, each choice. If the urge to keep or buy rises, smile gently. Return to the breath, to the image of a monk's bare hut. One bowl, one mat. This practice, done nightly, builds a habit of lightness, a life free of excess. For Sarah, clearing her desk, meditating in a tidy room, eased her anxiety, deepened her sleep, brightened her mornings. In the middle-class grind, where clutter and want steal rest, this routine offers calm, a chance to live lightly. If thoughts of more creep in, let them pass. Focus on enough, a single book, a quiet walk. Over time, this practice reduces worry, invites restful sleep, opens the heart to peace. Each cleared space, each mindful breath, mirrors the monk's life, bringing clarity, rest, a gentle joy in simplicity. Sarah found freedom in letting go. Her home a sanctuary, not a storehouse. Her evenings calm, her time with her children rich with presence. Start with one corner, one breath, and feel the weight lift, the heart bloom. This routine, simple yet profound, transforms the chaos of daily life, offering rest, a mind unburdened, a spirit lifted by the quiet beauty of enough. And so, we come to a call to carry this simplicity forward. Imagine your life as a monk's hut, bare, unburdened, resting deeply in the calm of enough. By embracing simplicity, we let go of desire's weight, finding peace in the present, a heart free to bloom. Today, try this. Clear one small space, a desk, a shelf. Meditate for 10 minutes. Feel the lightness of letting go settle within. Share this practice. Tell a friend how simplicity brought rest. Let the ripple of calm spread. In the middle-class grind, where possessions pile, where worries grow, this wisdom offers a refuge, a chance to rest deeply, to live lightly. Try tonight. Sort a corner. Breathe. Let your heart find joy in enough. A single cup, a quiet moment. If this practice has touched your soul, consider subscribing to the Zen Buddhism channel, where we nurture these moments of healing, living simply together in peace and rest. Join us. Embrace the monk's way. Let each moment bloom with quiet joy. Share your story, a time when letting go brought calm. Inspire others to find their own peace. In a world of endless want, simplicity is a soft light, clearing the mind, inviting rest, freeing us to live fully in the now. Sarah found this, her home lighter, her sleep deeper, her heart open to her children's laughter, to the beauty of a single breath. This practice, drawn from the monk's simple life, offers a path to peace, a heart unweighted by excess, a spirit lifted by the gentle beauty of a life lived simply, fully, in the quiet calm of now. In the rush of modern life, the ego builds a fragile fortress, a sense of self tied to titles, achievements, status. In the Western world, society celebrates the individual, urging us to define ourselves by success, by job roles, by social standing. We believe the ego needs protection, a shiny LinkedIn profile, a corner office, a life that outshines others. This belief fuels anxiety, a constant fear of failure, of losing our place, of not being enough. Each missed deadline, each unmet goal feels like a crack in the ego's walls, stirring worry. The clouds rest. For the middle-class worker, this pressure is relentless. Comparing salaries, promotions, curated lives on social media, each post a reminder to keep up. The ego's need to prove itself breeds a storm, sleepless nights, racing thoughts, a heart heavy with self-doubt. In a culture that equates worth with accomplishments, anxiety becomes normal, a shadow following every step. The cost is heavy, rest slips away, joy dims, the mind trapped in a cycle of comparison, of defense. This ego-driven chase, amplified by platforms like LinkedIn, leaves us restless, yearning for peace, for a way to quiet the anxious need to be someone. And so, we pause to see beyond this fragile self. Meet James, a 45-year-old executive, his identity woven into his title, vice president, his corner office, his polished business cards. Each morning, he checks his LinkedIn, counting likes, connections, affirmations of his worth. But rumors of a company merger loom, his position uncertain, and anxiety grips him. His sense of self unraveling. He clings to his role, working late, perfecting presentations, believing his title defines him, proves his value. The fear of losing it consumes him. His nights sleepless, his mind racing with thoughts of being replaced, of fading into irrelevance. He feels the weight, his body tense, his heart pounding, his days blurred by worry. At home, he is distant, unable to relax with his family, his thoughts stuck on what he might lose. The panic rises, a silent crisis, his ego crying, "Who am I without this?" In the middle-class grind, James's story echoes. Workers tying worth to job titles, parents fearing they are not enough, each clinging to a fragile self. The merger's uncertainty amplifies his dread. His confidence wanes, his rest stolen by the need to protect his identity. His crisis is not just his. It lives in those who measure themselves by achievements. Their hearts heavy, their peace lost to the ego's desperate grasp. In Buddhism, anatta, or no self, reveals a profound truth. There is no fixed self to cling to, only a flow of moments, thoughts, experiences. The ego, a fleeting construct, is not permanent, yet we hold it tightly, believing it defines us, protects us. This clinging fuels anxiety, the fear of losing status, of failing to shine. By seeing the self as a river, ever-changing, we release the need to defend it, finding freedom in letting go. For James, the executive, anatta means his title is not him. It is a passing wave, not his essence. This wisdom reduces comparison, the endless race to be better, to be seen. In the Western world, where social media amplifies the ego's voice, no self offers relief, a chance to rest without proving worth. For the worker facing failure, a missed promotion, a lost job, Anatta teaches that value lies not in roles, but in being in the quiet of now. By letting go of the ego, we find peace, a heart unburdened by status, a mind free of worry. This practice, rooted in seeing the self as fluid, brings rest, clarity, a life flowing lightly amidst the pressures of a competitive world. And so, we turn to a practice to dissolve the ego's grip, to ease the ego's anxieties. Try a meditation to observe the self, a gentle practice to find rest. Sit quietly each evening. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and ask, who is anxious? Notice thoughts, fears of failure, of losing status, and watch them without clinging, like clouds drifting through a vast sky. If the ego resists, whispering, "You must be someone," smile softly. Return to the question, to the breath. Picture the self as a river, flowing, changing, no fixed form to hold. Start with 10 minutes, building a habit of letting go. For James, this practice calmed his crisis, his sleep deepened, his days lighter, his title just a wave, not his worth. In the middle class grind, where comparison steals rest, this meditation offers peace, a chance to live without the ego's weight. If thoughts of status arise, let them pass. Focus on the breath, on the flow. Over time, this practice reduces anxiety, invites restful sleep, opens the heart to calm. Each question, each breath, dissolves the ego's hold, bringing clarity, rest, a gentle joy in the now. A heart blooming in the quiet beauty of no self. And so, we deepen this freedom, exploring its roots. In Buddhism, the ego arises from ignorance, a fear-driven illusion that clouds the truth of no self. We fear loss of status, of identity, of control, and this fear strengthens the ego, a fragile shield we build to feel secure. In the Western world, where competition defines worth, this fear grows. Workers chase titles, promotions, social media likes, believing they define the self. For James, the executive, the fear of losing his vice president role fueled his ego, his nights sleepless, his mind racing with thoughts of failure. This clinging breeds anxiety, a storm of comparison, of defense, stealing rest, dimming peace. Society encourages this, praising those who stand out, who accumulate. Yet this only tightens the ego's grip, leaving us restless, exhausted. The truth of no self offers freedom, seeing the ego as a passing wave, not a fixed truth. By letting go, we find peace, a heart unburdened by the need to prove worth. For the middle-class worker, this means easing the pressure to outshine colleagues, to perfect a LinkedIn profile, finding calm in simply being. This wisdom reduces the storm of competition, invites rest, a mind clear of fear. By dissolving the ego, we live lightly, our hearts open, our spirits blooming in the gentle calm of now, free from the weight of a self that never truly was. And so, we turn to a story of letting go of this illusion. One evening, James, our executive, sits in his quiet office, his heart heavy with the fear of losing his title, his identity. He tries a meditation, closing his eyes, breathing deeply, asking, who is anxious as he observes his thoughts, fears of failure, of fading relevance. He sees them drift like clouds, not solid, not him. In this deep stillness, the ego softens. A moment of no self dawns. His title, his role, just waves in a vast river, not his essence. He feels a release, a spacious freedom. His heart light, his mind clear. He begins practicing daily, sitting before bed, watching thoughts without clinging, letting go of the need to be someone. At first, his ego resists, whispering, "You must prove yourself." But he smiles, returns to the breath, to the question. Over weeks, his sleep deepens, his days brighter, his meetings calmer, his title no longer his anchor. The merger looms, but it does not define him. He flows with change, resting in the now. This shift, born in a quiet moment, transforms him, not by erasing challenges, but by freeing him from the ego's weight, his heart blooming like a star in a clear sky, vast, unburdened, filled with the gentle joy of no self. This story carries a call to dissolve our own ego's grip. No self is a gentle liberation, dissolving the ego's anxieties, bringing rest to the weary heart. By seeing the self as a fleeting flow, we let go of comparison, of fear, finding peace in the present. Today, try this. Sit quietly. Ask, who is anxious? Watch thoughts drift. Feel the calm of no self settle within. Share this practice. Tell a friend how observing the self-brought rest. Let the ripple of peace spread. In the middle-class grind, where status and titles press, no self offers a refuge, a chance to rest deeply, to live lightly. Try it tonight. Meditate for 10 minutes. Let the ego dissolve. Feel your heart bloom in the now. If this practice has touched your soul, consider subscribing to the Zen Buddhism channel, where we nurture these moments of healing, dissolving anxieties together in peace and rest. Join us. Let go of the self. Let each moment shine with quiet joy. Share your story, a time when no self brought calm. Inspire others to find their own peace. In a world of endless striving, no self is a soft light, clearing the mind, inviting rest, freeing us to live fully in the now, our hearts open, our spirits lifted by the gentle beauty of a life without ego. In a deep forest, ancient trees stand tall, their leaves falling gently, carried by a soft wind, whispering lessons of peace. The forest flows with life, roots weaving through earth, streams gliding over stones, each moment a dance of impermanence, unburdened by worry. In the Western world, the middle-class worker lives far from this, in cities of concrete, glass, screens, A life of deadlines, bills, endless notifications. Meet Emily, a 38-year-old teacher. Her days a blur of lesson plans, grading, her nights heavy with worries about budgets, her children's future, her urban world filled with noise, screens, traffic, isolates her from nature, her heart restless, her sleep shallow. The forest, though, teaches a different way. Its leaves fall without clinging, its winds blow without resisting. Each moment, a reminder of life's flow. Emily feels the weight of disconnection, her mornings rushed, her evenings spent scrolling, her spirit yearning for calm. In the city, anxiety is normal, a constant hum of worry about keeping up, about staying relevant. The forest's silence offers a lesson to let go, to flow with change, to find peace in the natural rhythm of life. Emily's life, like many, is cut off from this wisdom, her days trapped in artificial light, her nights restless with thoughts of tomorrow. The forest's teachings of leaves falling, of streams moving, show that peace lies in connection, in observing nature's impermanence. She feels this disconnection, her body tense, her mind clouded, her heart heavy with the city's chaos. Her story echoes in countless lives, in workers chained to desks, in parents lost in urban rush, each yearning for rest, for peace. The forest, with its quiet lessons, shows that anxiety grows in isolation, in forgetting life's natural flow. Emily's days blur with tasks, her home a cage of screens, her spirit craving the calm of trees, of wind, in the middle-class grind, where time outside is scarce. This disconnection fuels worry, steals rest, dims joy. The forest teaches letting go, its leaves drifting, its streams flowing, each movement a call to rest in the now. Emily longs for this, her nights sleepless, her heart racing, her life weighed by the city's demands. The forest's whisper, gentle yet profound, offers peace, a chance to reconnect, to find rest in nature's rhythm. She feels this pull, her spirit yearning for the quiet of trees, for the lessons of falling leaves, of flowing water. In a world of concrete, nature's teachings feel distant, yet they wait, ready to guide us to peace, to rest, to a heart blooming in the gentle calm of now. And so, we pause to explore why we drift from this natural wisdom. In Buddhism, nature reflects impermanence, a teacher of life's flow, yet our urban lives disconnect us, breeding anxiety. We live in concrete jungles, surrounded by screens, schedules, artificial lights, far from trees, rivers, the lessons of change. This separation, born of a modern world, fuels stress, a restless mind that cannot rest. For Emily, the teacher, days spent indoors, nights lit by phone screens, deepen her worry, her heart heavy with bills, her sleep fractured. In the West, society prioritizes productivity, leaving little time for parks, for skies, for nature's calm. This disconnection creates suffering, a mind caught in artificial cycles, missing the wisdom of falling leaves, of flowing streams. We ignore nature, chasing deadlines, devices, believing they bring control, but this only stirs anxiety, exhaustion, unrest. For the middle-class worker, time outside is scarce. A walk in the park feels like a luxury, yet this absence amplifies worry. Clouds peace, nature teaches impermanence. A leaf falls, a wind passes, yet we resist, clinging to routine, to screens. By reconnecting, we find calm, a heart open to life's flow, a mind free of stress. This wisdom eases the urban grind, offering rest, clarity, a life blooming in the gentle rhythm of nature's teachings. And so, we turn to a story of urban isolation. Emily, our teacher, lives in a bustling city. Her days consumed by lesson plans, parent emails, her nights heavy with financial fears. Her apartment, surrounded by concrete, hums with traffic, screens glowing late, no trees in sight. She forgets the park nearby. Her life trapped in deadlines, bills, her heart lonely amidst the crowd. Anxiety grows, her sleep shallow, her mornings foggy, her body tense with worry about budgets, about keeping up. She scrolls social media, comparing her life, feeling inadequate, her spirit drained. Weekends pass indoors, grading papers. No time for a walk, for fresh air. Her connection to nature lost. This isolation, common in urban life, steals rest, clouds joy, leaves her yearning for peace. Her colleagues notice her fatigue. Her lessons lack spark. Her confidence wanes in the middle class grind. This story echoes. Workers chained to desks. Parents too busy for green spaces. Each moment of disconnection. A weight on the heart. One evening, staring at her screen, Emily feels the emptiness, the loneliness of a life without nature's touch. Her heart aches, her spirit heavy, and a truth dawns. Perhaps peace lies not in tasks, but in reconnecting, in finding rest in the gentle whisper of the natural world. And so, we turn to a moment of awakening, where nature's calm returns. In the quiet embrace of dawn, a weary soul steps into the forest, seeking solace from a world that feels heavy with noise. The path is soft beneath their feet, cushioned by fallen leaves, and the air carries the scent of pine and earth. They walk without purpose, letting the rhythm of their steps blend with the pulse of the woods. The mind, once tangled with worries, begins to unravel as the wind whispers through ancient trees. Each breath feels lighter, as if the forest is gently coaxing them to release the burdens they carry. They pause by a stream, watching water dance over smooth stones, and in that moment, something shifts. The chatter of thoughts fades, replaced by the song of the wind, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird. They feel a connection, not just to the forest, but to something deeper within themselves, a quiet presence that has always been there, waiting to be noticed. This walk becomes a ritual, a return to the woods whenever the heart feels heavy. Over time, they learn to listen, not just to the forest, but to their own inner stillness. The healing is subtle yet profound. like a seed sprouting beneath the soil, unnoticed until it breaks through. They begin to practice meditation outdoors, sitting beneath the canopy, letting the earth hold them. The forest becomes a teacher, showing them how to let go, how to be present, how to find peace in the simplicity of being. Each visit strips away a layer of worry, leaving them softer, more open, more alive. The transformation is not loud or dramatic, but quiet, like the forest itself, steady and enduring. And so, they return again and again to walk, to listen, to heal. This gentle awakening in the woods opens a door to a deeper truth, one that nature has always held. Nature speaks in a language older than words, offering lessons that soothe the restless mind. When we step away from the concrete and screens, we often feel a quiet ache, a disconnection that breeds anxiety. This unrest comes from forgetting the rhythm of the earth, the cycles that govern all life. In the forest, the falling leaves teach us impermanence, how nothing stays the same, yet everything is whole. The seasons shift, the trees shed their leaves, and still, they stand tall, unburdened by loss. Nature shows us that change is not to be feared, but embraced, like the turning of seasons, each one bringing its own beauty. The wind does not cling to the branches, and the river does not resist the rocks. They flow, they adapt, they let go. This is the lesson of compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves, allowing our flaws and fears to exist without judgment. When we walk among trees, we are reminded to rest, to breathe, to be. The earth does not rush, yet everything blooms in its time. By connecting with nature, we find a stillness that quiets the mind's endless chatter. To make this real, try a weekly walk in a park or forest, even for just an hour. Notice the air, the ground, the life around you. Let it remind you that you, too, are part of this vast, ever-changing dance. The anxiety that once felt so heavy begins to dissolve, like mist under the morning sun. When we listen to nature's wisdom, this wisdom calls us to move with intention, to walk mindfully, and to let the earth guide us. To practice mindfulness in nature, find a quiet place where trees sway and the earth breathes. A park, a trail, or even a garden. Begin by standing still, feeling your feet rooted to the ground, like a tree drawing strength from the soil. Take a slow breath, noticing the air as it enters and leaves, cool and soft. Start walking, slowly, deliberately, letting each step be an act of presence. Observe the world around you, the texture of bark, the shape of leaves, the way sunlight filters through branches. If your mind wanders to worries or plans, gently bring it back, like guiding a child to the path. Feel the rhythm of your breath align with the breeze, as if you and the wind are one. Pause when something catches your heart, a flower, a stone, a sound, and let it hold your attention fully. If thoughts pull you away, acknowledge them, then return to the moment, to the earth beneath you. This practice is not about perfection, but patience, a gentle returning to now, Over time, you may notice your stress softening, your sleep deepening, your heart lighter. The benefits unfold quietly, like petals opening to dawn. Aim to walk this way once or twice a week, even for 20 minutes. Each step is a chance to let go, to heal, to reconnect with the simplicity of being. Nature is not just a place, it is a mirror, reflecting the peace that lives within you. This practice invites us to carry nature's calm into our daily lives. To hold its lessons close, close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself standing in a forest where the air is cool and the trees whisper secrets of peace. Imagine the weight of your worries slipping away, carried off by the wind, leaving only the quiet hum of life around you. Feel the ground beneath your feet, steady and kind, holding you as it holds the ancient trees. This is the gift of nature, a reminder that peace is never far, only waiting for you to notice. Let this image linger. Let it call you to step outside, to walk among trees, to listen to the earth's heartbeat. Make time this week to find a park, a trail, a quiet corner of green, and let it teach you. Share what you find. A moment of stillness, a leaf that caught your eye, a breath that felt like freedom. Let others know how nature speaks to you. And if this resonates, if the whisper of the woods feels like home, join us on this journey. Has nature ever whispered peace to you? Subscribe to the Zen Buddhism channel to listen, to heal, to grow together. In a world that glorifies endless striving, many chase success at the cost of rest, believing that sacrifice is the price of achievement. This mindset, rooted in the notion that sleep and health must yield to ambition, creates a life out of balance. The pressure to perform, to climb higher, to do more, leaves little room for pause. Over time, anxiety creeps in, a quiet tension that grows louder with each neglected moment of stillness. Workers, students, and dreamers alike feel this weight, their minds racing even when their bodies beg for rest. In Western cultures, the grind of long hours and constant connectivity fuels this cycle where productivity is mistaken for purpose. The result is burnout, a hollow exhaustion that dims the spirit. People push through, ignoring the body's whispers until they collapse under the strain. This fragmented living, where one part of life overshadows the rest, breeds unease. To heal, we must see that true success includes well-being, that rest is not a luxury, but a necessity. Only by embracing balance can we quiet the anxious mind and find peace. This truth, though simple, often dawns too late. As one professional story reveals, Clara, a driven consultant, lived for her career, her days a blur of meetings and deadlines. She believed success demanded everything. Family dinners skipped, workouts abandoned, sleep reduced to a few restless hours. Her phone glowed late into the night, emails piling up. Her mind never still. At first, the promotions felt like victories, but the cost grew heavy. Anxiety became her shadow, a tightness in her chest that lingered. Sleep eluded her, her thoughts spiraling with what-ifs and to-dos. She felt disconnected, as if life was slipping through her fingers. One evening, Alone in her apartment, she stared at a photo of her smiling family, untouched for months. Regret washed over her, sharp and aching. For the moments she traded for ambition, she saw her life's imbalance, how she'd poured herself into work while her heart starved. The exhaustion wasn't just physical. It was a longing for meaning, for rest, for connection. Clara's story mirrors many, a reminder that neglecting rest fractures the soul. Her late-night realization sparked a shift, a slow, turning toward a path that could restore her. This awakening points to an ancient guide, a path to balance and peace, the Noble Eightfold Path, a cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom, offers a way to live with clarity and calm. It begins with right view, seeing life's impermanence, understanding that clinging to success or stress is futile. Right. Intention follows, choosing kindness and presence over ambition's pull. Right. Speech and right action guide us to speak and act with care, fostering harmony within and around us. Right. Livelihood ensures our work aligns with our values, not our exhaustion. Right effort. Right. Mindfulness and right concentration anchor us in the present, training the mind to rest in the moment rather than race toward worry. Together, these steps weave a life of balance where work and rest coexist. By practicing mindfulness, we notice anxious thoughts without being consumed. In daily life, this might mean pausing before responding to a stressful email or breathing deeply during a busy day. The path builds habits that ground us, reducing anxiety's grip. It's not about perfection, but small, steady steps toward a life where rest is sacred and peace is possible. This path isn't distant. It can be woven into the fabric of our days. To bring the Eightfold Path into your routine, start with mindfulness and kind speech. Begin your day with a moment of stillness, observing your breath, noticing anxious thoughts without judgment. Let them pass like clouds. Returning to the present, practice right speech by speaking gently to yourself, replacing self-criticism with encouragement. In work, try writing emails with clarity and kindness, pausing to choose words that uplift rather than stress. If your mind wanders to worry, gently guide it back, starting small, perhaps focusing on one task fully. These practices build slowly, like ripples spreading across a pond. If distractions arise, acknowledge them, then return to your intention. Over time, this fosters balance, easing tension and deepening rest. The benefits are quiet but real. Better sleep, a calmer heart, a mind less burdened. Try this for a week, noticing how small acts of mindfulness shift your day. The path is not a destination, but a way of being, a gentle return to peace with each breath. The Noble Eightfold Path is a woven tapestry, each thread strengthening the others to ease suffering and guide us toward peace. When we live out of balance, chasing goals without pause, anxiety takes root, fed by a mind that clings to fleeting things. Without right view, we miss life's impermanence. Without right mindfulness, we drift from the present. Each element of the path, from right speech to right concentration, works in harmony to steady us. Right view helps us see clearly, loosening our grip on stress, while right mindfulness anchors us in the now, calming restless thoughts. Right effort keeps us gentle yet steady, and right concentration fosters deep rest, like a still lake reflecting the stars. Together, they create a holistic way of being, where rest is not an afterthought, but a foundation. In practice, this means pausing to breathe during a hectic day, or speaking with kindness to ease tension. By living the path, burnout fades, replaced by a rhythm that honors both effort and ease. Apply one aspect, like mindful breathing before sleep, and notice how anxiety softens, how rest deepens. The path is a living whole, each step supporting the next, guiding us to tranquility. This interconnected wisdom finds life in one person's journey to balance. Lila, a teacher, once lived in a rush, her days consumed by lesson plans and deadlines. Anxiety shadowed her, stealing sleep and joy. Then, she began to walk the eightfold path, starting with right view, seeing that her stress came from clinging to perfection. She practiced right mindfulness, pausing to breathe, noticing her thoughts without chasing them. Slowly, she changed, choosing rest over late-night work, speaking kindly to herself when mistakes arose. She set boundaries, leaving her desk to walk in the evening, feeling the ground beneath her feet. Each step felt like a release, her heart lighter, her mind clearer. The path wasn't a quick fix, but a gentle unfolding. Lila found balance, prioritizing sleep and moments with loved ones. Her anxiety, once a storm, became a passing breeze. She felt whole, not from achieving more, but from living fully in each moment. Her story shows the path's quiet power, how small, intentional steps can transform a frantic life into one of peace, where rest and presence become one. This journey invites us to reflect and step onto the path ourselves. The Noble Eightfold Path is a guide to release anxiety, a way to weave rest and peace into the fabric of our lives. Each step, from right view to right concentration, offers a thread of wisdom, creating a life of balance and calm. Imagine a day where you pause to breathe, speak with kindness, and let go of worry, feeling the stillness that arises. This path is not distant. It begins with one choice, one moment of presence. Try it today, perhaps practicing right speech by offering a gentle word to yourself or another, or right mindfulness by noticing your breath during a busy moment. Share your experience, a small shift, a moment of peace with someone close. The path grows richer when walked together. Has the Noble Eightfold Path touched your heart? Subscribe to the Zen Buddhism channel to journey with us, to heal, to find rest in each step. Amir, a young architect, lived with a restless heart, his days consumed by blueprints and ambition. His mind was rarely still, tangled in regrets over past mistakes, a missed deadline, a harsh word spoken in haste. The future loomed larger, filled with plans for the next project, the next promotion, the next milestone that would finally bring peace. But peace never came. Each morning, He woke with a knot in his chest, anxiety whispering of what was and what might be. He barely noticed the warmth of his coffee, the softness of his daughter's laughter, or the quiet beauty of dawn outside his window. Life felt like a race, always one step behind or ahead. Never here. One evening, exhausted, he wandered into a park. The air cool, the trees swaying gently. He sat on a bench, watching leaves fall, each one drifting without resistance. For the first time in years, he truly saw the colors vivid, the breeze alive against his skin. He breathed deeply, and something shifted. His thoughts, usually racing, slowed, settling into the rhythm of the moment. The past and future felt distant, like echoes fading. Amir began to practice this presence, noticing his steps on the way to work, the taste of his meals, the sound of his breath. It wasn't easy. His mind often wandered back to old regrets or new plans, pulling him from the now. But each time, he gently returned, anchoring himself in the present. The anxiety that once gripped him began to loosen, replaced by a quiet rest, not from sleep, but from being fully alive in each moment. Over weeks, this practice grew, a daily return to the eternal now, where life unfolded without rush or fear. Amir's journey wasn't complete, but it had begun, a path from a wandering mind to the stillness of the present, where true rest was found. This awakening to the present reveals the roots of our unrest, a truth worth exploring. The present moment is the only place where life truly exists, yet we often miss it. Lost in the illusion of time, ignorance clouds our awareness, pulling our minds to the past or future. Where anxiety thrives, we dwell on old mistakes, a conversation gone wrong, or we project fears onto what's to come, a deadline, a dream unrealized. This wandering mind creates a false sense of time, a story we tell ourselves that traps us in unrest. In work, we plan endlessly, worrying about outcomes, while the moment slips away. The result is a life half-lived, where rest feels impossible because we're never fully here. The contradiction is stark. We seek peace in achievements or memories, but both are shadows, not reality. This misstep fuels anxiety as we chase what's gone or what's not yet here, missing the stillness of now. In daily life, notice how often you're pulled from the present, checking your phone during a meal, or planning tomorrow while lying awake. The present is eternal, unchanging, yet we drift from it, creating our own suffering. To live now is to let go of these illusions, to rest in the simplicity of what is. Try pausing during a busy day, feeling your breath, noticing the world around you. This small act can ground you, easing the mind's restless pull. The challenge is not to escape time, but to dwell fully in the moment, where anxiety fades and rest is found. This truth comes alive in the story of another. Caught in the chase for shadows, Elena, a writer, lived for the future. Her days spent chasing the perfect novel, the recognition she craved. She planned every chapter, every word. Her mind always 10 steps ahead. Mornings, blurred into nights, her meals rushed, her sleep shallow, her thoughts a storm of what could be. She barely noticed the sun setting, the taste of her tea, or the quiet moments with friends. Life was a checklist, each task a stepping stone to a future that never arrived. Anxiety grew, a constant hum beneath her drive, her heart heavy with a vague emptiness. She felt unmoored, as if joy was always just out of reach. One day, sitting at her desk, she stared at a blank page, overwhelmed. In frustration, she stepped outside, the air sharp, the world alive with sound. She walked, noticing the crunch of gravel, the warmth of sunlight on her face. For a moment, she stopped chasing, simply present. The weight in her chest lifted, replaced by a fleeting calm. Elena began to see how her pursuit of the future had stolen the now. She started small, savoring her breakfast, listening to birds instead of her thoughts. The anxiety didn't vanish, but it softened, like a tide receding. She realized the present was the key, not the future she chased. Her emptiness came from living in shadows, not reality. With practice, she found rest in small moments, a breath, a smile, a pause. Elena's story is a mirror, showing how we lose ourselves in pursuit and how the present, when embraced, brings peace. Sophia, a nurse, carried the weight of her days like a heavy cloak. Her mind always stretched between yesterday's emergencies and tomorrow's shifts. Anxiety was her constant companion, stealing her sleep, dimming her joy. One quiet morning, exhausted, she sat by a window, the world outside soft with dawn. She closed her eyes, listening to the faint hum of the world, the chirp of a bird, the rustle of leaves. For the first time, she noticed the moment, untouched by time's pull. It felt eternal, as if the present held all she needed. Sophia began to meditate daily, sitting quietly, focusing on her breath, the warmth of her hands, the sounds around her. She let go of regrets, a patient she couldn't save, and plans, the next shift, the next goal. The practice was simple but not easy. Her mind often wandered, tugging her back to worry. Yet, each time, she gently returned, anchoring herself in the now. Slowly, a profound peace emerged, not fleeting, but vast, like an ocean without shores. Her anxiety softened, her sleep deepened, her heart felt lighter. She found rest, not in escaping life, but in dwelling fully within it. Sophia's days still held challenges, but they no longer consumed her. She smiled more, savored her meals, listened fully to her patients. The present became her refuge, a timeless space where rest was always waiting. Her journey showed her that the now is eternal, a quiet sanctuary beyond the reach of past or future. This awakening to the present carries a timeless truth, one that frees us from suffering. Buddhist teachings remind us that time is an illusion, a construct of the mind that breeds suffering through ignorance. We chase the future, fearing what it holds, or cling to the past, regretting what was. This wandering creates anxiety, pulling us from the only reality, the present moment. The now is eternal, untouched by the stories we weave about yesterday or tomorrow. In this moment, there is no lack, no fear, only being. When we dwell here, anxiety dissolves, replaced by a deep rest that knows no bounds. The present is not a fleeting second. It is a vast expanse where life unfolds fully. In our busy lives, we often miss this. Planning during a meal, worrying in bed, never truly here. The lesson is simple. Return to now, and peace follows. This doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities, but meeting them with full presence. Try it in daily life. Pause while working. Feel your breath. Notice the texture of the moment. This practice cuts through the illusion of time, grounding you in a rest that feels infinite, living fully in the now, even amidst chaos, brings clarity, calm, a life unburdened by the weight of what's gone or what's to come. The present is the eternal rest we seek, always here, always whole. This timeless truth invites us to anchor ourselves in the moment, a practice that transforms. To dwell in the present, find a quiet space, indoors or out, where you can sit or stand comfortably. Begin by closing your eyes or softening your gaze and take a slow breath, feeling the air move through you. Notice the sounds around you, a bird, a hum, the whisper of wind. Without labeling them, let them be as they are. Feel your body, the weight of your feet on the ground, the warmth of your hands, the rhythm of your breath. If thoughts of the past or future arise, acknowledge them gently, like clouds passing, and return to the moment. Focus on one sensation, perhaps the coolness of the air or the texture of your clothing. Stay here, fully present, for a few minutes. If your mind wanders, don't judge, simply guide it back as you would a friend. Start small, 5 minutes a day, perhaps before sleep or during a break. Over time, this practice brings immediate rest, a quieting of the mind's chatter. Your sleep becomes deeper, your days lighter, your heart more open. The benefits unfold quietly, like dawn breaking. This meditation is a return to the eternal now, a way to rest in the truth of each moment. No matter where life takes you, this practice calls us to carry the present's peace forward, to live it and share it. Picture yourself as a calm sea, waves of worry settling into stillness, each breath a ripple of peace. This is the eternal rest of the present moment, a sanctuary always within reach. The journey through these chapters has shown us how to let go of anxiety, to anchor in the now, to find rest that endures. Make this real today. Pause during a busy moment. Feel your breath. Notice the world as it is. Live fully in one moment. Whether sipping tea, walking, or listening to a loved one, share your journey. A moment of presence, a spark of peace with someone close. Let this practice ripple outward, touching others with calm. The present is not just a moment. It is your home, your rest, your truth. Has the present brought you deep peace? Subscribe to the Zen Buddhism channel to continue this healing journey and spread the wisdom of the Dharma together. Lila worked part-time at a bustling cafe, her days a blur of orders, chatter, and endless tasks. Mornings began with a hurried breakfast. Evenings ended with a sigh of exhaustion. No moment spared for rest. Her schedule was a relentless march. Shifts at the cafe blending into errands, emails, and family demands. Lila's mind buzzed, a hive of thoughts about unfinished tasks, bills piling up, a friend's unanswered message. Sleep eluded her, nights spent tossing, her heart racing as tomorrow's to-do list loomed. The world felt heavy, like a bag of stones she carried alone. She longed for a pause, a breath, but life offered no gaps, no stillness. Each day, Lila pushed forward, hoping to outrun the weight, yet it only grew heavier. Customers smiled, but she barely noticed. Her thoughts tangled in what came next. What she hadn't done, the cafe's noise mirrored her mind. Loud, chaotic, unyielding. She wondered if peace was possible, if a moment of quiet could exist in her crowded life. Lila's body moved through tasks, but her spirit felt trapped, yearning for a space to breathe. The days blurred into weeks, each one stealing a little more of her calm, leaving her restless, drained. She lay awake at night, staring at the ceiling, her mind replaying the day's rush, dreading tomorrow's demands. Could there be a way to find ease, to silence the noise within? Lila didn't know, but the question lingered, soft as a whisper, persistent as the dawn. And so, Lila's restless heart began to seek a path through the storm. Lila's mind was a tempest, thoughts swirling like leaves in a gale. Each shift at the cafe brought new pressures, a spilled coffee, a late delivery, a customer's complaint, all piling onto her already heavy load. At home, dishes waited, bills demanded attention. Her phone buzzed with reminders. She couldn't stop, couldn't rest, her mind refusing to settle. To cope, Lila pushed harder, working faster, staying up later, believing more effort would clear the chaos. She told herself that finishing one more task, checking one more email, would bring relief, but the storm only grew, her thoughts spinning faster, her body tensing with each passing hour. Sleep became a distant dream, her nights filled with fragmented thoughts, worries crashing like waves. The harder she tried to control the chaos, the more it consumed her, leaving her exhausted, disconnected. Lila felt like she was drowning in her own mind, each attempt to fix things pulling her deeper into unrest. The world moved on, but she was stuck, caught in a cycle of striving, never arriving at peace. Yet, in the heart of this storm, a glimmer of change appeared. Desperate for relief, Lila tried to outrun her stress. She drank coffee to stay alert, worked late to cross off tasks, believing speed would bring calm. She stayed up past midnight, organizing schedules, answering messages, hoping to feel accomplished, but each effort left her more drained, her mind more cluttered. The coffee made her jittery. Late nights stole her energy, and the tasks never ended, new ones rising like weeds. Her body ached, her thoughts raced, sleep slipped further away. Lila's attempts to force calm only deepened her exhaustion, her heart pounding as she lay in bed, unable to quiet the storm within. She began to see that doing more wasn't the answer, that pushing harder only stirred the chaos. The world felt relentless, and Lila felt small, lost in its demands. She wondered if there was another way, a gentler path to peace she hadn't yet found. And so, a quiet shift began to take root in Lila's weary soul. One evening, Lila met a friend, Maya, who seemed untouched by the rush of life. Over tea, Maya spoke of a stillness within, a calm like a lake undisturbed by wind. Lila listened, curious, as Maya described, letting thoughts settle, not chasing them. Something clicked. Lila saw her mind as a stormy lake, waves crashing from endless striving. Maya suggested pausing, breathing, letting the mind rest like water, finding its own level. Lila tried it that night, sitting quietly, focusing on her breath. At first, thoughts surged, tasks, worries, plans, but she stayed, breathing, letting them pass. Slowly, the waves in her mind softened, her heart eased. She pictured a lake, its surface smooth, reflecting the sky. The image held her, calming her restless thoughts. Lila began to meditate daily, even for a few minutes, finding moments of quiet amid the cafe's noise. The storm didn't vanish, but it grew less fierce, her mind clearer, her sleep deeper. She realized peace wasn't in doing more, but in being still, in letting the lake of her mind settle. In this stillness, Lila discovered a truth that changed everything. Inner peace is not the absence of challenges, but the stillness that holds them. In Zen, we learn that a restless mind creates suffering. Its endless churning feeding stress, stealing rest. Like a lake stirred by wind, our thoughts ripple when we chase or fight them. Inner peace comes from letting the mind settle, from allowing thoughts to come and go without grasping. This stillness is not forced. It arises naturally when we stop striving, when we breathe and return to the present. It brings clarity, soothes the body, invites sleep. By cultivating this calm, we touch a deeper truth, that peace is always within us, waiting beneath the surface. It is not found in completing tasks or controlling life, but in resting in the moment, in trusting the mind's natural stillness. This peace heals, it restores, it carries us through life's storms with grace. Now, let us practice touching this stillness within. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, close your eyes, picture a still lake, its surface smooth, reflecting the sky. Breathe slowly, letting each inhale fill you, each exhale soften you. As thoughts arise, worries, plans, tasks, see them as ripples on the lake. Do not chase them. Do not push them away. Simply watch them settle. With each breath, let the lake grow stiller, its waters clear. If your mind wanders, gently return to the lake, to the breath. Rest here for 5 minutes, or longer if you wish, feeling the calm deepen. If distractions pull you, smile softly. Guide your mind back to the lake's stillness. This practice is a refuge, a way to find peace within life's rush. Let it hold you. Let it teach you the art of being still. And so, we come to the gentle close of this journey. Lila now ends her days by the still lake in her mind, its calm guiding her to rest. Each night, she sits, breathes, lets thoughts settle like ripples fading. Sleep comes easier. Her body softens. Her heart lightens. The cafe's rush remains, but it no longer consumes her. She carries the lake's stillness within. Picture yourself by this lake, its surface quiet, your mind at ease. Let this image guide you to sleep, to peace. Try the cultivating stillness meditation tonight. Feel your thoughts settle, your rest deepen. Share this practice with someone. Let them find their own lake of calm. A still lake, a restful sleep. Subscribe to Zen Buddhism to continue this journey, to find more ways to rest in life's gentle flow. Chapter 10. The Path of Gratitude. A new perspective. In a bustling city where neon lights flickered and streets hummed with endless motion, a retail worker named Mira toiled in a small shop, her days filled with repetitive tasks, folding clothes, scanning items, answering questions with a forced smile. Her life felt like a treadmill, always moving, never arriving, her heart heavy with a quiet ache. She looked at customers with their shiny bags, their confident strides, and felt a pang of lack. Her modest apartment, her simple meals, her ordinary life seemed not enough. At night, she lay awake, her mind racing with thoughts of what she didn't have. A better job, a bigger home, the freedom others seemed to enjoy. Each day, she noticed the lives of those around her. The manager with a new car, the coworker with a carefree laugh, the customer with a designer coat, and her discontent grew, a weight pressing on her chest. She dreamed of more money to buy nice things, more status to feel respected, more moments to escape the monotony. Her mornings began with a sigh. Her evenings ended with restlessness, sleep eluding her as her mind churned with comparisons, with wishes for a life that felt fuller, brighter, more like the ones she saw. The shop's fluorescent lights seemed to dim her spirit, the endless ringing of the register, a reminder of her stagnation. She envied the ease of others, their apparent happiness, their lives that seemed to sparkle while hers felt dull. Mira's heart grew heavy, her thoughts tangled in what she lacked, her days blending into a haze of wanting. She tried to distract herself, scrolling through social media, seeing perfect vacations, curated lives, each image deepening her sense of inadequacy. She worked extra shifts, hoping for a raise, for a chance to catch up, but the extra hours only left her tired, her heart still empty. The city's noise mirrored her inner turmoil, horns blaring, voices rushing, her mind unable to settle. She felt trapped, caught in a cycle of longing, her discontent a shadow that followed her, stealing her peace, keeping her awake in the quiet hours of night. Mira longed for rest, for a moment of ease, but her focus on what she lacked kept her tethered to suffering, her heart yearning for a way out, for a glimpse of light in the weight of her days. Yet, beneath this restlessness, a quiet truth waited, a whisper that peace could be found, not in gaining more, but in seeing what was already there. in shifting her gaze to the gifts hidden in her ordinary life. And so, we pause to wonder, what weight do we carry when we focus on what we lack? Mira's discontent grew as she compared herself to others, her eyes lingering on the lives she wished for. The manager's sleek car, the coworker's easy confidence, the customer's polished appearance. Each comparison was a thorn, pricking her heart, deepening her sense of being less, of falling short. She felt inadequate. Her small apartment too cramped, her wardrobe too plain, her life too small compared to the glittering images online. This cycle of wanting fueled her suffering, each thought of lack tightening the knot in her chest. She believed happiness lay in having more, a better job to earn respect, new clothes to feel worthy, a life that matched the ones she envied. She scrolled through her phone, seeing posts of lavish dinners, exotic trips, each one a reminder of what she didn't have, her heart sinking further. She worked longer hours, hoping a raise would fill the void. But the extra money slipped through her fingers, spent on things that promised joy, but left her empty. Her envy grew, her thoughts restless, her sleep broken by dreams of a life just out of reach. This wanting was a trap, a cycle that promised fulfillment, but delivered only pain. Each desire leading to another, each lack magnified by her gaze. In her quiet moments, she felt the ache of disconnection from herself, from others, from the peace she craved. The more she chased, the further she drifted from calm, her heart heavy with the weight of comparison, her mind clouded by the illusion that happiness lay elsewhere. And so, we ask, how does our wanting pull us from the peace we seek? Mira, desperate to escape her discontent, threw herself into chasing happiness, believing it lay in things she could buy, in achievements she could claim. She spent her savings on new clothes, hoping they would make her feel vibrant, worthy, like the people she admired. She worked overtime, skipping meals, ignoring her tiredness, convinced a promotion would bring the respect she craved. She filled her evenings with shopping, her cart piled with items she thought would brighten her life. A new lamp, a sleek phone, a pair of shoes, like the ones she saw online. Yet, each purchase brought only a fleeting spark, a momentary lift that faded by morning, leaving her emptier than before. The clothes hung unworn, the phone lost its shine, the shoes felt no different from her old ones. Her extra hours at work left her drained, her body aching, her mind foggy, yet no promotion came, no sense of enough arrived. She pushed harder, staying late, skipping rest, her heart racing with the need to prove herself, to catch up to the lives she envied. But the more she chased, the heavier her heart grew. The more distant her peace became. She lay awake, her mind spinning with plans, with purchases, with dreams of a better tomorrow. But happiness remained out of reach, a shadow she could not grasp. The cycle of wanting, of striving, only deepened her suffering, showing her that material gains, external successes, could not fill the void within, could not bring the calm she longed for. What might we find then if we stop chasing and turn inward? One evening, as Mira folded clothes in the shop, her co-worker, an older woman named Hannah, noticed her tired eyes, her heavy sigh. Hana shared a quiet story, how she once felt the same lack until she began to notice the small gifts in her day, the warmth of morning tea, the smile of a stranger, the quiet of dawn. She spoke of gratitude, of seeing what was already enough, and invited Mira to try it, to name one thing she was thankful for. Mira hesitated, her mind stuck on lack, but then she thought of the soft light filtering through her window each morning, a moment of calm she often overlooked. She spoke it aloud, and a warmth spread in her chest, a flicker of peace. Hana smiled, suggesting Mira try this each night, to name 3 things, however small, that brought her joy. That evening, Mira sat by her window, her heart softening as she named the light, the laughter of a child outside, the taste of her simple dinner. This practice shifted her gaze from what she lacked to what she had, from envy to appreciation. She began to notice more: the kindness of a customer, the rhythm of her breath, the comfort of her worn shoes. Gratitude was not a fix, but a lens, a way to see her life anew, to find joy in the ordinary, to rest in the present without needing more. What light might gratitude bring? Then, to the shadows of our discontent. In Zen Buddhism, gratitude, or mudita, is a gentle practice that dissolves suffering, shifting our focus from lack to abundance. Discontent arises when we dwell on what we don't have, when we compare, when we chase what lies beyond our reach. This focus on lack fuels pain, keeps us restless, traps us in a cycle of wanting. Gratitude, however, is a quiet revolution, a choice to see the gifts already present, the warmth of a meal, the sound of rain, the presence of a friend. It does not erase challenges, but softens their weight, showing us joy in the ordinary, in the now. In our modern rush, we often overlook these moments, our eyes fixed on what's next, on what's missing the peace that waits in the present. Mudita teaches us to pause, to notice, to cherish what is, to find contentment without changing a single thing. This practice is simple, yet profound, a way to break the cycle of craving, to ease the ache of comparison. By cultivating gratitude, we open our hearts to abundance. We lighten our burdens. We find a calm that does not depend on having more. It is a path to unlack, to a life where each moment, however small, becomes enough, where peace blooms in the act of seeing, of appreciating, of resting in what is already ours. And so, we wonder, how might gratitude transform our view of enough? Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. Let your body relax, your shoulders soften, your breath steady. Close your eyes. Take a slow inhale. Feel the air fill your chest, grounding you in this moment. Reflect on your day, your life, and name 3 things you are grateful for. Perhaps the warmth of sunlight, the taste of a meal, the kindness of a stranger. Hold these moments in your mind. See them clearly. Feel their quiet joy. If you wish, write them down, or let them rest gently in your heart. If thoughts of lack arise, if it feels hard to find gratitude, and acknowledge them softly. Return to your breath. Try again. Picture these moments as small lights glowing softly, warming the spaces where discontent once lived. With each inhale, let gratitude grow. With each exhale, release the weight of wanting. Spend a few minutes here, resting in this practice, trusting that these small joys are enough, that they anchor you in peace. If your mind wanders, if scarcity pulls, gently guide it back. Patient with yourself, with the process. This practice is a seed, one that grows with time, one that shifts your gaze from lack to abundance, from striving to resting. Keep it simple. Start small. Let gratitude build a bridge to calm, to a heart that sees the beauty in what is right now. Now, let us carry this gratitude into our days. Softening our hearts, Mira's life began to shift, not in grand ways, but in the quiet moments. She now noticed the soft light through her window, the laughter of a coworker, the warmth of her evening tea. Each night, she named 3 things she was grateful for, her heart growing lighter, her mind less tangled in want. Sleep came easier, her breath steady, her thoughts no longer racing with lack. She still worked in the shop, still faced long hours, but her gaze had changed. She saw the kindness in a customer's smile, the comfort in her routine, the beauty in her simple life. Gratitude became her refuge, a gentle lens that revealed abundance where she once saw only scarcity. Her heart, once heavy, now felt open, alive to the small joys that had always been there. As she lay down each night, her mind filled with these moments. Sleep arrived like a soft wave, carrying her into rest, into peace. This was no miracle, but a choice, a practice of seeing, of resting in enough. Tonight, try this. Pause. Name 3 things that brought you joy. Let them settle in your heart. Feel the calm they bring. A grateful heart, a restful sleep. Subscribe to Zen Buddhism for more stories, more practices to guide you to peace. Share your reflections below. Tell us what you're thankful for, how it feels to rest in gratitude. Together, we can walk this path, finding joy in the present, fully awake to the light of a grateful heart. In a bustling city where lights flicker and streets hum with endless motion, a person lives a life overflowing with tasks, possessions, and responsibilities. Their home is filled with objects, clothes piled high, gadgets collecting dust, shelves heavy with books unread. Their days are packed, rushing from work to meetings, answering emails late into the night, juggling expectations from family, friends, and society. They dream of rest, of a quiet moment to breathe, but their mind is cluttered, racing with thoughts of what must be done, what must be owned, what must be achieved. This is the life of excess, a weight we all know, when our homes and schedules brim with more than we can hold. In our modern world, whether in crowded apartments or sprawling suburbs, we feel this burden, the pressure to keep up, to have more, to do more. The person sits at their desk, surrounded by papers, their phone buzzing with notifications, their heart heavy with the need to manage it all. They long for sleep, for a night of peace, but their thoughts spin, tangled in lists, plans, and worries. We know this too. When we lie awake, unable to relax, our minds filled with tasks unfinished, possessions unorganized, dreams unfulfilled. The person looks out their window, seeing the stars dimmed by city lights, and wonders if there is a way to find calm, to clear the clutter, to rest in simplicity, to sleep deeply in a life less burdened. Yet, what if letting go could bring the peace they seek? The person feels overwhelmed, crushed by the weight of trying to hold everything together, from possessions to expectations. Their home is a maze of things, each item a reminder of a need to feel secure, to prove their worth. They cling to clothes they never wear, gadgets they rarely use, memories tied to objects they cannot release. Their schedule is no different, filled with commitments they feel obliged to keep, goals they chase to meet society's standards. This excess creates a storm in their mind, a restless chaos that steals their calm. In our lives, we too feel this pressure when we accumulate more to feel safe, to fill a void, to match the world's demands. The person buys more, organizes their desk, adds another task to their list, thinking it will bring control, but the weight only grows. We do this too when we fill our homes with things we don't need, or our days with tasks that drain us, hoping they will make us feel enough. The person's heart races, their sleep grows shallow. As the clutter of their life presses down, the truth is gentle but clear. Excess does not bring security. It builds a cage, keeping us from peace, from rest, from the simplicity that allows the heart to breathe. And so, the person begins to search for a way out. The person tries to reclaim their peace, diving into action to organize their life. They spend hours sorting through possessions, rearranging furniture, cleaning shelves, hoping order will bring calm. They work harder, take on extra tasks, believing productivity will ease their restless mind. But the more they organize, the more they uncover old letters, forgotten trinkets, reminders of unfulfilled dreams. The more they work, the more tasks pile up, each one demanding more time, more energy. Their efforts, though earnest, only tighten the grip of stress, leaving them more exhausted, less at peace. This is our struggle too. When we try to fix our lives by adding structure, buying organizers, or working longer hours, thinking it will free us, we might declutter a room only to feel overwhelmed by what remains, or push ourselves to achieve more only to feel further from joy. The person sits among their things, their heart heavy, realizing that no amount of rearranging or effort brings the calm they seek. We know this feeling. When our attempts to control our lives leave us drained, still unable to sleep, still caught in the weight of excess, the truth dawns softly. True freedom does not come from managing excess. It comes from letting it go, from embracing a simpler way. But then, a gentle lesson begins to unfold. One quiet evening, the person visits a friend whose home is sparse, filled only with what is needed. A single chair, a small table, a window open to the evening breeze. The friend moves with ease, their smile calm, their presence light. They speak of simplicity, of letting go of what does not serve the heart, of living only with what brings joy or purpose. The person listens, their heart stirring, seeing their own life reflected in the clutter they carry. The friend's words are a gentle mirror, showing that freedom lies in releasing, not holding. The person returns home, looking at their possessions with new eyes, beginning to let go, giving away clothes, clearing shelves, canceling unnecessary plans. They feel a shift, a lightness, as if their heart can breathe again. In our lives, this is the moment we choose to simplify, to donate unused items, to say no to draining commitments, to prioritize rest over rush. The person's steps grow lighter, their sleep deeper, as they embrace simplicity, letting go of excess to find peace. This is the beauty of simplicity, a quiet realization that less is more, that freedom comes not from having, but from being, from living with an open, unburdened heart. With this insight, a path to peace opens wide. Zen Buddhism teaches that simplicity is a path to peace, a way to clear the mind of the clutter that causes suffering. Excess, whether in possessions, tasks, or expectations, creates chaos, filling our hearts with restlessness, keeping us from the present moment. The Buddha spoke of non-attachment, of letting go of what does not serve us, to find freedom in the now. When we hold on to too much, we lose sight of what truly matters: our joy, our rest, our connection to life. Simplicity invites us to release what weighs us down, to live with only what we need, to find beauty in the ordinary. In our modern lives, we might feel pressure to own more, to achieve more, but this only deepens our unease, stealing our calm. Zen teaches that by simplifying, by letting go of extra possessions, unnecessary tasks, or impossible standards, we create space for peace, for sleep, for presence. This practice is not about deprivation, but about clarity, about choosing what nourishes the heart. In a world that celebrates excess, simplicity is a gentle act of courage, a choice to live lightly, to rest deeply, to find joy in the moment as it is, unburdened by the weight of too much. Now, let us practice this simplicity together. Find a quiet moment, perhaps as you prepare for sleep, and take a slow, deep breath, feeling the air anchor you in this now. Picture your life, its clutter of objects, tasks, expectations. See them as a crowded room, heavy with things you carry. Choose one small corner, a drawer, a shelf, a single task, and imagine letting it go, giving away what you don't need, saying no to what drains you. With each exhale, release the need to hold everything. Let it fade like clouds passing in the sky. If the urge to keep things arises, that is okay. Simply notice it, then return to your breath, to the choice to simplify. Picture your life lighter, your home with only what you love, your day with time for rest. For joy, this practice is gentle step. Start small, clear one space, Skip one unnecessary task. Prioritize a moment of calm. In our lives, this might mean donating old clothes, turning off notifications, or resting without guilt. If letting go feels hard, meet it with kindness. Trust that each small release brings peace. As you drift towards sleep, carry this lightness, knowing you can return to this practice anytime. Let each breath be a letting go, a quiet step towards simplicity, a gentle embrace of a life unburdened, open to peace. And so, we come to the heart of this journey, a simple rest. Simplicity lightens the heart, opening us to the peace of a life unburdened. The person's story shows us that we are not defined by what we own or do, but by our courage to let go, to live with what truly matters. Zen Buddhism teaches that excess binds us, keeping us from the freedom of the present. But simplicity sets us free, letting us rest in this moment. Tonight, as you settle into stillness, choose one small thing to release: an object, a task, a worry, and let it go. Perhaps saying, "I am enough. I need only this moment." Picture yourself in a simple room, a soft bed, the quiet of night wrapping you in calm, your sleep deep and restful, your heart light. This act is a gentle light guiding you to peace, a release of excess for a life of ease. Share this story with someone who needs it. Let it ripple outward, spreading calm and clarity. If this tale has lifted your heart, brought you a moment of serenity, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us in this journey of simplicity, of finding peace in the present. Let us walk this path together, breath by breath, step by step, free from the weight of excess, open to the boundless beauty of now. Sleep gently, knowing a simple life brings a restful heart. A peaceful night